A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Wednesday, November 2nd. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. Officials from several organizations gathered yesterday to urge residents to support Proposition 1 on next week's ballot, the Clean Water, Clean Air, and Green Jobs Bond Act. Among those calling for approval of the bond is Andy Bickham, Director of Government Relations and Public Policy for Mid-Hudson, who said the Hudson Valley's been on the cutting edge of creating solutions that address the environmental challenges of our time. And despite great progress, he said much more can be done to ensure an even safer, healthier, and thriving future for all New Yorkers. Bickham said supporting the Bond Act will make a difference in the well-being of residents.
This is a once-in-a-generation opportunity that we have to protect some of the things that life relies on, that fuel our economy, and enhance quality of life for all of us.
Those also speaking in support of the Bond Act included officials of the Hudson Valley Economic Development Corporation, Physicians for Social Responsibility New York, and labor leaders. Dutchess County Executive Marcus Molinaro has proposed his 2023 county budget, which lowers the county tax rate and tax levy, reducing the amount to be raised by property taxes by $369,000. He said at a time when costs are going up all around, Dutchess County government remains committed to cutting costs for county residents and businesses, and with the 8th consecutive property tax rate decrease and the 9th straight county levy decrease, Molinaro announced his budget presentation to the legislature on Tuesday.
This particular budget at $560 million is still lower than the actual spending we had engaged in 2022. We were able to achieve that by wringing out efficiencies, avoiding and retiring debt.
Despite the reduced bottom line, Molinaro is budgeting 2 additional school resource officers for a total of 13, purchasing body cameras for deputy sheriffs and expanding the county drug task force, purchasing a vehicle fire simulator, funding upgrades to the police and fire radio interoperability, and adding $20 million to the county capital project plan. The Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce conducted its monthly breakfast gathering yesterday, and the focus was the county executive race with Democrat Jen Metzger and Republican James Quigley. Quigley was unable to attend because he tested positive for COVID. Instead, he joined virtually to answer some questions. Quigley, who served as town of Ulster supervisor for 12 years, cited his business experience in real estate, such as helping to develop shopping areas in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, as being advantageous as county executive. He said he's also worked with county government to help make the former IBM campus into iPark 87 and try to become a feasible member of the Ulster County economic community, and would continue to work to do so if elected. Metzger answered questions and said that her top priorities include affordable housing, the climate, mental health, and addiction problems. More news right after this.
Find over 100 retailers allowing you to spend hours shopping safely at the Galleria at Crystal Run. Enjoy the big brands and the diverse selection of family-owned stores all in one location. The Galleria at Crystal Run offers dining options for everyone with Fuji, 110 Grill, Allen's Mediterranean Grill, and Peru Cuisine. Discover the Mid-Hudson Valley's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment destination, the Galleria at Crystal Run. For more information, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
The League of Women Voters of the Mid-Hudson region and 2 individuals have filed a lawsuit against the Dutchess County Board of Elections and Republican Elections Commissioner Eric Haight. The lawsuit seeks to have GOP Commissioner Haight agree with the Democratic counterpart, Commissioner Hannah Black, to establish a polling place on the campus of Vassar College in the town of Poughkeepsie. Retired State Police Sergeant Ivan Morales died last Friday, Acting Superintendent Stephen Negrelli announced. A City of Hudson resident, Morales died from an illness stemming from his assignment at the World Trade Center site following the September 11, 2001 terrorist attack. He was assigned to Troop T, the Thruway, at the time of his retirement. A 25-year-old Port Jervis man was sentenced on Tuesday in Orange County Court to 9 years in state prison and 3 years of post-release supervision after he pled guilty to possessing fentanyl with intent to sell it. While pending sentence for that conviction, Dashel Paulus was charged with promoting prison contraband, for which he was sentenced to 2 to 4 years in prison. He pled guilty to acting alone and with others to introduce Suboxone into the Orange County Jail. Paulus has been the subject of an investigation by Port Jervis police into the sale of heroin. A 26-year-old Newburgh man was sentenced in Orange County Court to 20 years in state prison and 3 years of post-release supervision following his jury conviction on 2 counts of criminal sale of a controlled substance, criminal possession of a controlled substance, and criminally using drug paraphernalia. In court, the district attorney's office recommended that Jarvis Evans, also known as Jay, be sentenced to 30 years in prison. As proven at trial, in this past January, Evans sold heroin and fentanyl to a person in the city of Port Jervis. Less than a week later, he sold crack cocaine to the individual. A search warrant was executed at an apartment in Port Jervis where Evans was located, which led to the recovery of narcotics, packaging materials for drugs, and cash. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.